given to the person who is very well conversant with all Vedas, all Upanishads, all Puranas, all Itihasas. Then why fools like me are given the chance? It is an empowered position, just for 1 hour. Okay. Why? Because when a war outbreaks, what happens? Initially soldiers go and fight. So no, we all know that. When usually soldiers die, then government or the king, what they do? They recruit healthy civilians and give them a crash training, give weapon, go to war. That category. So, thank you all the members of congregation, the committee, especially Prabhu, the Srimad group of continuously considering for this opportunity. Hare Krishna. Welcome once again. We will start with Radha. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Let's take it. Friday satsang and Bhagavad Gita class. We introduced the new devotees at time because more devotees will come at that time. We expect more devotees, today around 23 devotees, requesting everyone to come forward. As forward as possible. If you want to use the chair, and please keep the mobile switched off or silent or in the background. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His divine grace. Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srimad Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadojaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vajalam Angum Langayate Girim Yukvadam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarunam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita as it is by His divine grace, Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text number 33. Sreyan Divyamayad Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate Sreyan Divyamayad Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate Sreyan Divyamayad Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate Prabhu
Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisampyate Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajnat Yajna Parantapa Sarvakarma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate
Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate
Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate
Shreyan Dravyamaya
यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
What is the word?
33.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञा परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
Shreyan.
Greater.
Drivyamayat. Of material possessions. Yajna. Than the sacrifice. Jnana yajna. Sacrifice in knowledge. Parantapa. O chastiser of the enemy. Sarvam. All. Karma. Activities. Akhilam. In totality. Partha. O son of Pratha. Jnane. In knowledge. Parisamapyate. End. Translation and perfect by His Divine Grace, Abhay Sarnarinda, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. O chastiser of the enemy, O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pratha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. Translation with repetition, please repeat after me. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possession. After all, O son of Pratha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. Any clarification required? Sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than mere sacrifice of material possessions. Fine. Asra or Na, all sacrifices of works culminate in
Transcendental.
So, end of all sacrifices, that is aim, final destination is sacrifice. So we learn transcendental. That is the heading of this chapter. No, purpose. The purpose of all sacrifice is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge, then to gain release from material miseries, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord, that is Krishna consciousness. Nonetheless, there is a mystery about all these different activities of sacrifice, and one should know this mystery. Sacrifices sometimes take different forms according to the particular faith of the performer. When one's faith reaches the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifices should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possessions without such knowledge. For without attainment of knowledge, sacrifices remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit. Real knowledge culminates in Krishna consciousness, the highest stage of transcendental knowledge. Without the elevation of knowledge, sacrifices are simply material activities. When, however, they are elevated to the level of transcendental knowledge, all such activities enter onto the spiritual platform. Depending on differences in consciousness, sacrificial activities are sometimes called karma kanda, that is fruitive activities, and sometimes jnana kanda, knowledge in pursuit of truth. It is better when the end is knowledge. Om Jnana Vidradasya Jnanajnana Chaturmitram Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dhamanyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sadrajasam Savajana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sarvana Sita Shri Vishakam Vitamsra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhurveva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parshatvare Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Anyone who is attending Hare Krishna Satsang for the first time? Any new member? Alex, yes, Vyali Mataji. Are you from Andhra or Telangana Mataji? Which district? East Godavari. Very good. Today in the class there will be reference to Godavari. And Prabhuji, your name? Which part of India? Kerala. Thank you. Anyone do it? Just raise your hand and yes. Name please.
Nakshatra.
Nakshatra. Yar. Tara. Nujum. From?
India.
No. This is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. You can expect from any part of the globe. That smell cancel. Okay. Delete it.
Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh, MP.
Hari bol.
Sagar, Bhopal,
Indore.
Indore. All over now, all the spiritual brothers of all the devotees, they take our holy name one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Sreyan Drivya Jnat Jnana Yajna Parandava Sarvam Karmakilam Partha Jnane Pari Samapyate. Jnane Pari Samapyate Sarvam Karmakilam Sreyan Drivya Jnana Jnana Yajna. Oh, chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pratha, all sacrifices of works culminate in transcendent knowledge. We will come to the purport later. Anyone doesn't know about Bhagavad Gita? What Bhagavad Gita is? Yes.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you for your humility. Right. Anyone who really don't know, who is very first time for Bhagavad Gita last, anyone is there? This is the operation manual for human beings. When you buy any new product, you get a catalog. This is how to operate ourselves. So we will into 18 chapters, we all know, through 3 main sections. That is, which are Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga,
Bhakti Yoga, Jnana.
Bhakti Yoga and
Jnana.
Yoga. So this is in which section?
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga. So, what is this 4th chapter all about? That is transcendental knowledge. Transcendental knowledge, the spiritual knowledge of soul, of God, and of their relationship, is both purifying and liberating. Such knowledge is the fruit of selfless devotional service. That is Karma Yoga. The Lord explains the remote history of Gita, the purpose and significance of its periodic descent to the material world, and the necessity of approaching a guru, a realized teacher. So what are things we can learn from this chapter? Spiritual knowledge of soul and God in the relationship, and what is the result of having that knowledge? Two results: purifying and liberating. So this knowledge is the fruit of selfless devotional service. The Lord explains about the remote history of Bhagavad Gita. So, personally, we know that is understood to Arjuna during and just before the onset of Mahabharata war. But Lord says that before crores and crores of years, Lord has addressed Bhagavad Gita to whom? The Swan. That is Sun God. The name of Sun God, present Sun God is Swan. Then what else is Lord says? And the purpose and significance of this, why Lord comes down, why Lord takes avataras to this material world, and the necessity of approaching a guru, a realized teacher. So we all are sitting here because of such a realized guru. This Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is watching us from there. See, and you can see the Srila Prabhupada and Dr. What? Don't think that Prabhupada is not seeing us.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. No. when I was asked to take the class, I thought, I just read and thought, you see what Prabhupada is told about this purpose. Prabhupada's explanation about this one purpose. Before that, we will see that this chapter is divided into 3 major sections as per our Bhakti study. Text number 1 to 15 deals with the transcendental qualities of Krishna. And 16 to 24 deals with actions of a Nishkama Karma Yogi. The third section where we are now, that is 25 to 42, deals with sacrifices and jnana. These 3 main sections. After reciting the text, the Prabhupada says that now Krishna is concluding these different types of yajna. He says that Sreya Drivya Maya Yajna, Jnana Yajna Parandava. Jnana Yajna means, what is Jnana Yajna? Can anyone answer? Sacrifice and knowledge. That's fine. That is the literal meaning of what it is practically.
To give up something with the right knowledge that we have.
No.
The knowledge,
There is no giving up here in Jnana Yajna.
the knowledge is engaged with the Lord.
Okay. Yes, that's correct. Partly correct.
But giving up, we have to give up the result. We should
Result,
work.
okay, that's fine.
That's what-
That part it is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to engage in this activity,
Activity. What activity? Yes, correct.
to please the Lord, not for
Please the
our
Lord.
own sense.
To understand that everything belongs to the Lord and therefore engage everything in His service.
Correct. But Jnana Yajna, particular meaning, what and the main focus of that, what an attempt.
To spread the knowledge of the Lord.
Spread the knowledge, that is 99%. Yes. Correct. That spread the knowledge, that is correct, almost 100%. Yes. I am just trying to propagate, correct, to depend upon Srila Prabhupada. That's what my main.
Actually, one more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
Just one more. Like here is, if we have the right knowledge that we are not the body, we are the soul,
Yes.
and the eternal servant of the Lord, we
Correct.
are part and parcel of Him.
So,
Then naturally our sacrifice towards those activities which are sense gratifying will be there.
yes.
But we will not stop there because the knowledge will say stopping there alone will not get you. It might liberate you, but it will not give you the true happiness.
Correct.
So you go further in pleasing the Supreme Lord, and that's where the devotees stand different from the normal jnana yogi.
Correct. So that is by pleasing the Supreme Lord by. I will borrow the words. Of course, we are indebted to everything is indebted to Srila Prabhupada and everything from Srila Prabhupada only. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada said that this Jnana Yajna, which we are doing now. What we are doing now?
Studying
We are discussing Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly, word by word, statement by statement, sentence by sentence, and trying to understand every word with reference to Vedic explanation. I mean reference, and as far as our logic and argument goes. So this is called Jnana Yajna. I'll repeat. This is Jnana Yajna which we are doing here. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly and trying to understand every word with reference to Vedic explanation, I mean reference, and as far as our logic and argument goes. So this is called Jnana Yajna. So what we are doing? I mean discussion, study, as told propagation, preaching, understanding,
discussing. Dushanti Charan.
This is what is Jnana Yajna. This is the ultimate yajna. There is no yajna among the yajnas Krishna had quoted in this chapter. So what are the yajnas Krishna quoted here? And verse number 28. Krishna says that Drivya yajnas, tavo yajna, yoga yajnas, Tada pare swadhyaya yajna yajnascha yadaya samsida tadha. That is drivya yajna, tabo yajna, yoga yajna, then swadhyaya yajna, then jnana yajna is also mentioned. So how it is being done, having accepted the strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions. As Madhavi told, give up or what is called possession, material possessions. And others by performing severe austerities, tavoyajna, finances, bodily austerities, that is observing fasts and sleeping less. It's not that sleeping less, that time should be utilized for devotional services. Then practicing yoga of eightfold mysticism. What is that? Ashtanga Marga Yoga. That is Patanjali Yoga. Then what is Swadhyaya Yajna? Studying Vedas. Vedas means what scriptures? Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Ivyasas and the commentaries. For what? To advance in transcendental knowledge. So by the time Lord reached to from 28 to 33rd verse, Lord confirms that this Jnana Yajna is the topmost of all yajnas. Among the yajnas mentioned here. So, go to Vibhuti Yoga. Chapter, Vibhuti Yoga chapter 10. Among yajnas,
Japa.
so Japa Yajna is also Jnana Yajna. Why? Because what are we doing the Japa? Lord's names. So Lord is the ultimate Jnana. Why? Matta Parakaram Jnanam Antitasya Jnana Totam Sure Jnana. In this way we can relate. Prabhupada continue checking that. And here Lord has referred about Drivya Mayajna. So there is a comparison between Drivya Mayajna and Jnana Mayajna. Why it goes? Drivya means what?
Liquid.
No. Drivya means material. That is Dravagam. Drivya means material. Means especially our possessions. What? Especially all the possessions calculated on the what?
Money.
Plus. Okay. There is a proverb. My mother's uncle used to say. I said to him that no, I am not interested in making so much of money. Mother comes naturally. People are capable of making so much, and everyone should do money. He used to say, Drivya Vasal Sarva Vasya. If you have this, especially in Kali Yuga, what is that?
Money.
Honey is honey.
Everything money is money. Drivya Vasal Sarva Vasya. You can gain anything in almost, especially in Kali Yuga. So no. In Hindi, Malayalam there is a proverb. Panathunu mere parundum parakku. Even the eagle which flies very high, even it won't fly above. In Hindi, what is it? Sabka iman bikta hai. Everybody's trust is what is called saleable. Okay. Often not everybody is saying, but you know that.
But in the American bill, it says, "In God we trust."
They say, but they are the most. So if you take the cross section of psychology of various people, various part of the world, America's cross section shows up business.
In the beginning, actually, they had that culture.
Yes.
That's how they started.
That is where started. Now it's only in the letter, not in spirit. Japan, that is industrial and entrepreneurship, that endeavor. China, you all know. So, bit cruel. And ours is spiritual life. But every country, for the reasons about that. So why, like Dravyam, to release money from hand, for them very difficult. It gives some pain in the heart. For any cause, although we are supposed to as per Rupa Goswami, we are supposed to spend 50% to
Krishna conscious
spiritual activities, 25% for our the needy or dependents, and 25% for
Personal emergencies.
personal. It is very difficult. Some faiths say the Samsung, 1/10, and there are other faiths they take 2.5% from their congregational members. So there is one practical way. You in Bhagavatam, that is in that 8th canto. When one Mahamurti approached Sri Maharaj for charity, so Bhagadya's statement is to divide your wealth into 5 parts. 25% for spirituality, 25% for your reputation, 25% like additions. I got 20% to donation. So that is one of the practical ways to do. 50% as of now, very difficult. And then, what Guru Maharaj's advice is that the best of your ability. If the best of your ability is 1%, 0.1%, 0.01%, whatever. But since to purify our well, thus to purify our existing, what we should do? We should do sacrifices. Translate that. Those who don't do sacrifices, they have no peace of mind and no sukham in this world, on this earth, or in the next other worlds, in any birth. So that is a must. It is up to us that to make we all are all the living beings in general and all the human beings in particular and devotees more particular, we are supposed to be 24/7 devotees. Is it possible? Our prime time, productive hours of the day, 8 to 14 hours devotees are working. Minimum 8. 8 to 14 hours are used for what? Okay. This is the main aim?
No.
So now we are focused on that. So how to exist, to purify the existence? Whatever is possible, spend for Krishna consciousness. Now we will listen from Prabhu in continuation. And Drevya Maya Yajna means, just like yesterday, day for yesterday, we discussed that in the altar of fire we have to sacrifice clarified butter. So Drevya Maya Yajna means what is called items suitable for the harvest. We call harvest, no? Sacrifice. So clarified butter and grains. And sometimes till end of Dabur Yuga, animals. Now Srimad Yajna, that horse is
Given.
And there are many yajnas where animal sacrifice is permitted, but for a higher cost. It is justified because that is the process of the yajna. That is part of karma kanda, not for us in any yuga, not for devotees in any yuga. That is also a type of Drevya Yajna. They are called Drevya Yajna. So Krishna says, Sreyan Drevya Maya Yajna, that Drevya Maya, that sacrifice goods or other things in the Yajna, from that type of Yajna, Sreyan Drevya Maya Yajna, Jnana Yajna Parandava. Jnana Yajna is greater or better than Drevya Maya. Jnana Yajna. This philosophical discussion, logical discussion of the aim of life from organized books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. If we have a discussion, this is called Jnana. So, reading together, understanding and discussing about scriptures is Jnanamaya Yajna. That's what we are doing now. chapters of with knowledge. So whatever we are reading, or whatever we are hearing, whatever we are discussing, that is to be understood in reference to all the words, all the statements, all the sentences, all the purports, everything should be. So Prabhu said, what is taking class? Read my purports, explain,
Repeat.
repeat it, clarify it, explain it, discuss on that. This is our class. This is how we are doing Jnanamaya. So why Jnanamaya Yajna is preferred? Sarvam karmakilam partha jnane pari samapyate. Because after all, we have to acquire that knowledge which will make me a surrendered soul to the Supreme. What is the final result or use of this knowledge? One should be able to surrender to the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. So, in spirituality, what is the qualification?
Desire. Only desire.
Desire alone will not take you. Desire is the beginning. Lavlyam, correct? That should be there. But very simple.
Faith.
Faith, Shraddha,
Inquisitive.
enthusiasm, that is to give the momentum, is prepared.
Patience.
These all are prepared, but minimum. Very simple. Humility. Be humble. Why? Because spiritual progress is gained only through what? Humility. Okay. What will you do if you are humility?
Surrender.
Will accept authority.
So what you do if you have easy after authority, what will you do?
Approach.
Approach then?
Pranipata.
Surrender.
Surrender. That is. So humility and surrender. If a person has these two, he is saved. Eligible. Without being humble, one cannot surrender. Without surrendering to Krishna, one cannot progress. Can we surrender to Krishna now? Immediately? No, Krishna is more than material world. So, whom will we surrender to?
Representative.
Authorized representative. Bona fide spiritual master. Bona fide representative. That is a guru, a Vartamana guru. Vartamana guru of Harmara system. Bhagavad is coming to that point. Later we will see that. So that's it. Prabhu was saying that because after all we have to acquire that knowledge which will make us a surrendered soul to the Supreme. That's it. Final end of it. That's all. Bahunam janmanam mande jnanavan mam prabhaddhate Vasudeva sarvamidhi samahatma durlabha. So jnana also means to understand our position, to understand what God is, to understand what is our relation to God, to understand why we are in this material world and what is our next life, where from we have come, where we have the right knowledge, we can understand all these things. So, knowledge means what? What are we? What is, or who is superior? Who are we? Or who are us? Or acting like, who are we? Who is Supreme Lord? What is the relation? And how to maintain that relation. And also, why are we in this material world? And what is our next life? From where we have come? Do we have the right knowledge? So these all things are also part of our jnanam and jnana yajna. And when you understand everything, I mean, the path is clear. If these things are known, the path is very, very clear. One can clearly understand that I am the part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's ultimate knowledge. Therefore, my duty is to render transcendental devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the highest yajna. The highest yajna rendering transcendental, loving, devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is highest yajna, highest jnana, knowledge. This is the highest yajna, this is the highest knowledge. So Krishna advises that Jnanamaya yajna, this sacrifice is to be practiced by everyone. Now to understand these things, you have to sacrifice what? What are things you have to sacrifice? To do Jnanamaya yajna. Very simple. First thing,
Hearing.
what are the investing? What are the sacrifices?
Time. Energy.
Yes. Energy,
Effort.
labor, what else? So Prabhu is in the words, you will sacrifice some labor, some attention. So these sacrifices are counted more than when we offer sacrificial goods in the fire. So in Devya Matna, we offer bodies to the fire, that grains, many paraphernalia are there. That depends upon the type of yajna. Some may not be available, I think, nowadays. You have to go to forest or in the hilly area, you have to collect. There are many. So that is clearly stated in the 33rd sloka of 4th chapter by Lord Krishna. Now, what is the process of this knowledge? How to gain this knowledge? This is stated by the Lord in the next verse. Next verse is 434. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. If you want to participate in Jnanamaya Yajna, just try to learn the truth by approaching spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Tadviddhi paripadena pariprasena So, this will be in the next class. Okay. So, now, about glories of 4th chapter. Every Mahatmya of Gita. Most of us know about Gita Mahatmya, no? How many verses are there? Gita Mahatmya? 7. It is in the beginning. Introductory part. Then that's what time will not go to that general Mahatmya. We try to know the glories, the Mahatmya of this particular chapter. So, this is the famous city on the banks of Ganges, Ganga. Varanasi, you don't know? Varanasi. Other names? Then? Banaras. So, this is the famous temple there. Kashi Vishwanath. There lived a great saint, namely Bhagavad. The Bhagavad is a very famous name. There are many kings and rishis. We see that after the main topic. This Bhagavad is to live in the temple and is to recite 4th chapter every day. Only 42 verses. It's relatively small or medium chapter. We all can do that. And I am sure that by knowing the glories, today onwards all will recite. So this great rishi used to go for the pilgrimages to various places. There is a famous place namely Tabodhana, where there is a beautiful temple of Lord Krishna. So once this great sage visited that place, he took darshan, the beautiful deity of Lord Krishna at Tabodhana, and he thought, why to sleep under roof? Let me spend my time in the simplest way, that is under trees, like our Vasudeva, all the great saints. So he found two Bale trees. Bale tree means Villam or Bilvam. It is called on the Maya. So what he did? The roots of one tree was used as his pillow, and the other tree was used as his resting for feet. As usual, before taking rest, he chanted 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One part of story. Now we will go to the banks of Godavari. On the banks of Godavari, there was a pious Brahmin family. Now, I'll tell you this Mahatma is stated by Lord Vishnu to Mother Lakshmi. Oh my dear Devi, this is like many conversations are like Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. Like this is between Lord Vishnu and
Lakshmi
Devi. Okay. So we'll hold that Godavari part also, and we will go to the great saint, namely Sachatapa. Sachatapa was a great saint. So he did a lot of severe activities. Like in the summer, he was doing penance in the midst of fire, and in the winter, in water. Brahma was so much pleased. And during this process, he gained a lot of sweet of Krishna. He became a Jivan Mukta. Even Brahmaji used to visit and discuss with him. Every day, Brahma used to visit and discuss. Indra became very much worried. Sachatapa is going to climb my crown, my position. So he, what does he do? Normal. What is the weakness of a human being? Strongest, weakest weakness? Opposite. Yes. These are two beautiful apsaras. So they went in front of Sachatapa, then started singing, dancing, no effect. Then they started even, slipping their dress, even dropping. When they went to this stage, when you got to angry, you took water from Kamandalu, thrown on them, told, become into trees. Like Narada did to Nalagopa and Mayadeva. The Apsara told, oh Rishi, please forgive us. We are just servants of Indra. We have to obey him. If you don't obey, you will not be alive. Now, if we obey, at least you are alive. So, we need Shama. Good. Then, they became trees. Now what happened? Now we will go back to the Bharatava finished.
Bharatava.
Yeah. Then what happened? This
Bale tree.
yes, bale trees. So bale trees were these two
Apsaras.
Apsaras. So when they chanted, when they listened to the chanting of 4th chapter, they took birth in the pious family on the banks of Godavari. And when they were 6 or 7 years old, these girls visited Kashi and they met a Rishi. So Sachatapa had given a prediction to this girl that you will be remembering about your past birth. So they ran and touched the feet of Rishi and told her, you saved us, you saved us. I told, my dear children, I don't know anything about you. Then they explained. So he became very happy, and these 2 girls, they became pure devotees. They lived as Jivan Mukta. At the end of their life, they went on to Lotus feet of Lord. So, 4th chapter can elevate you so much. Definitely, it will give you progress. If not, if you will not get the liberation, definitely you will get a higher birth. So, these are the glories of chapter 4 as described in Padma Purana, conversation between Lord Vishnu and Mother Lakshmi. Now, the time
Yes, ma'am. We have time.
Want to listen voice of Srila Prabhupada?
Yes.
Eh?
We want to progress.
No, want to listen Srila Prabhupada's voice? At least volume is Sudarsana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Idea was wrong. Then what to speak of the next line? Next line, you think on एवं बहुधा जगता वित्ता ब्रह्मणों के कर्मजान विदितां सर्वाणि ज्ञातारं मुक्ते श्रीयान दत्तमया ज्ञान ज्ञान जिसक परंतपा सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थो ज्ञानी परिसमाप्यते. Now Krishna is concluding is different types of yoga. He says that श्रीयान दत्तमया ज्ञान जिसक परंतपा Jnana means this is Jnana. We are doing here. We are discussing our Gita very scrutinizingly and trying to understand every verse. We just want to be very reference as far as our logic and argument goes. So this is called Jnana. And Dharma means just that yesterday we discussed that is the altar of fire where it sacrifice clarified butter, grain, or sometimes animal sacrifice. They are called Dharma. So Krishna says, Sriyam Dharma Yajna, that Dharma, that sacrificing goods or other things in the God. From that type of Jugga, Sriyam Dharma Yajna, Jnana is philosophical discussion, logical discussion of the aim of life. Stop organized books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad, Bhagavatam. If we and discuss, this is called Jnana. It's not Jnana. Right? So why Jnana is referred that Sarva Karma Kiran Prakto Gravity Samapana. Because after all, we have to acquire that knowledge which will make me a surrendered soul to the service. So Jnana also means that to understand our position, to understand what is God, to understand what is our relationship with God, to understand why you are in this material world, and what is our next life, when from there come, whether it is by knowledge, we can understand all these things. And when you understand everything, and the path is clear, you can clearly understand that I am the part and parcel of the Supreme. Therefore, my duty is to render transcendental service to the Supreme. That is the highest knowledge. The Krishna advises that Jnana, the sacrifice now to understand these things. You have to sacrifice some time, you have to sacrifice some labor, sacrifice. So these sacrifices are counted more than when we offer sacrifice of food to the Father. That is clearly true. Now, what is the process of this knowledge? That is also stated by the law. Tadviti pranipatena pranipasnena upadashanti te jnanam jnanam tattvatina. Now, if you have to acquire knowledge, then first of all, you have to find out a person who has already seen the light. Tattvatina. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Tattva is described in the translation is absolute truth. That is Tattva. Now,
Hare Krishna, stop it for next class. I think it's 3 minutes.
Hare
Now, in the interest of time, we can conclude, no Prabhu?
Yes.
So, questions on today's topic? Very good.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
first of all, thank you for giving such a wonderful class.
All glories to Srimad, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, and Assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas.
And his great Darshan Vasudeva Prabhu as well. Because you quoted Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada, and you made us listen to Srila Prabhupada also. So that is really a magnanimous.
I did not put anything from Bhagavatam, no?
That's amazing. You did, Prabhu.
I did not put anything from Bhagavatam.
You mentioned about Shukracharya and how he made divisions of sacrifice. Thank you, Prabhu. It was very, very complete. I also liked how you mentioned in the beginning of the class that Bhagavad Gita is an operating manual. Because I'm in that field where I do a lot of documentation for companies and review them. Some of those documentation are useless because there are a lot of theory. But a small percentage is very useful because it's day-to-day, describes how to run the company day-to-day. So I liked how you called it the operating manual. It was very, very resonating. Prabhu, my question is on, you quoted Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi, and you also try to connect Japa Yajna with Jnana Yajna. And I couldn't understand it, Prabhu. Could you please explain it a little more?
Yes. What are we doing the Jama on? Krishna. Krishna is ultimate knowledge, ultimate truth. If you chant his name by knowing the meaning, the words, his position, you are practicing Jnana. Yes. By Vedas, Lord is to be known. Vedas means knowledge. So if you know Lord, who is Lord, and you are reciting his name, and it also, especially for this yuga, that is also not Lord is recommended. And there is no truth, there is no knowledge superior or beyond Krishna. So you don't chant it now. So when you chant Krishna like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, you are concentrating on the meanings of the word Hara, Krishna, Rama. If you know that, why is there any knowledge beyond that? And also knowledge that is the ultimate shelter. And especially for Kali Yuga.
Okay, I understand the principle, but I'm still not convinced.
Yes, sure. Sure, you can.
Sorry, Prabhu, it's my ignorance.
No,
Probably explain it.
No, because of such questions, we are also thinking this sloka, right? Adashi Krishna Nama. With our own senses, we are not able to understand what Sri Krishna is. See, you want to take start with your tongue. Honoring only Krishna, then chanting his way. Then what happens? Swayam gave us Pritya. I will myself reveal. So revelation has to be knowledge. So this way, revelation of the knowledge starts with the tongue that is used for chanting. So that way we can connect jnana and japa.
So if you have, even japa is next level. If you are convinced with this jnana, then what do you do? Sadalam kirtanandama. Kirtaniya sadahari. Who does these things? Bhakta means who has got ultimate knowledge. So, like to do this Janamaya Yajna, you need a team. At least 2 persons are required. For Japa, is it required? So, Japa Yajna is 1 step ahead. No? Okay.
I understand. Basically, if I were to summarize it correctly, maybe both of you can correct me if I understood it properly. So, it's the culmination. I think purport also.
Culmination should be jnana.
Parisamapti.
Culmination of all yajna should be knowledge. See, what is the culmination of all the knowledge? Krishna. And those who have that culminated knowledge, what they do? So, you are practicing that knowledge. Correct or no? So in the yajna, afterward we are discussing, understanding. After that, as an individual soul, how you directly get connected to Krishna? I mean that we have two tracks and two paths. One path like a railway track, as Prabhu told. One is service to Guru, one is service to
Krishna.
This service we are doing on the instruction of Guru Maharaj. And how you do the direct service to Krishna? Standing service, direct service. So when I was reading this, suddenly that point clicked me. Here Krishna is saying, but here Krishna has told that Jnanamaya Yajna is greater than
Dravya.
Okay. So the comparison is only there. Should ultimately it there. And after you gain the knowledge, what is that?
Action.
Here it no
Application.
action, application. So here Krishna did not mention about the Javayatna. But there he told Javayatna is ultimate. So Javayatna is greater than Jnanayatna. One can do Javayatna only if he crosses the stage of
Jnana.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which means the
Yes, yes.
devotional service is greater
Greater.
than this.
So here I tell you, here the comparison is between that is Rivya Yajna, Tabo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna, and Jnana Yajna. And Rivya Yajna is even beyond. Beyond. But Javayatna is what? Jnana Yajna. Because only who has got the Jnana. Otherwise, if you don't know what is Java, why should I do the Java? Without that knowledge, will anyone chant? Will anyone do Java? No.
Now it makes sense, Prabhu. Bhagavatam also says, Yajati Sumedasa.
Sumedasa.
Maybe that's what they meant.
Not Vedasa, not ordinary Vedasa.
Sumedasa.
Sumedasa. Most intelligent or more intelligent with good intelligence. If you add Su, anything? What is called?
Superlative.
Superlative. I am correct. Swagadam, Suswagadam, Sajjam, Susajjam, Bhadram, Subhadram, Sudarsana. Not only.
Sushwat.
Before that, Di, Sudi. I don't know how I got this name. I thank my uncle, mother, younger brother. Somehow he selected that name for me. I did not know the meaning. During initiation, Guru Maharaj asked what is the meaning of your name. So Prabhu was taking a class of Namabrada. Asman Prabhu called from the office. That is the meaning of the company. So Bhagavad explanation is that it is after you are become very intelligent, what is the duty? Control the senses. This is the literal meaning, word meaning. Bhagavad is saying that you must control his senses. We accepted that. So they knew that I am not qualified to retain that name. But then last week we were discussing about Sudarsana, like Canto 9, 4 chapters. The glories of morning 9:30 reading. The glories of Sudarsana by Amrish Maharaj. Correct. Please do.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes.
You mentioned that, ideally speaking, we should be,
24.
like 24/7, we should be doing devotional service.
How will you say?
even when you're sleeping in our dreams also we should. But Prabhuji, this is where my question comes, because isn't it also right to do our duty? Like our duty is, okay, in one way it is earning money, it is for providing for our, for our community, for our family. But like, isn't that also like part of our duty?
Yes.
So
it is we must do this part of Prabhu. Like we all are, of course, you are not happy with Krishna in spiritual world. Okay? We wanted to get separated from him for what? To individually, independently control and enjoy. Krishna knew this. created what material will go, try to control and enjoy. To be here. So we are now like fish out of water. So what? We have to go back. But we are now contaminated, corrupted. For the purification process, Krishna made systems of varnashrama. Adurvarni maya system, karma, varna. So whatever varna, whatever ashram you are continuing. Because Bhagavad says, above indeed Sreshta varnashrama vibhagashya sunishthistasya dharmasya samskritti bhedasya. So purpose of executing varnashrama dharma is to purify, to please Supreme Lord. Okay, varnashrama dharma. Now, what is the highest dharma? Savai punso paro dharma, highest dharma. Yado bhakti radokshite. Devotion Supreme Lord. That should be how? Ahayugi apradhita. Without any cause. I want this, I want that now. Without any cause. Devotion service. Ahayugi apradhita. Not that you got your increment, then you forget Krishna. No. Or you got a promotion for that. Apradhita. Continuous, non-stop. Yaya Atma Suprasiddhi. This pleases the soul. This is pleasing to Krishna. Yaya Atma Suprasiddhi. So this is the essence, final essence. And how does the most recommended, ultimately recommended Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam, how does it end? Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Pava Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanasto Namami Harim. So Nama Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the final. Any more questions?
So Prabhu, just to conclude, one has to do Swadharma.
Swadharma you should do.
Not doing Swadharma is sinful. Krishna is but at the same time, Parodharma has to be, that has to be the thread, the growth. So while performing our personal duty also, we have to make it how Krishna is.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Second chapter.
So you have to do that, Prabhu. You make it a duty and spiritual duty. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please. So Prabhu. Comments can be discussed.
Any questions further?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji summarized very beautifully about what the class taken about. Very nicely, Prabhuji nicely listened, Shravanam, and he explained also. We would like to thank Prabhuji for explaining this. It's a little technical thing, Karma Yoga and action. So this Prabhu also was saying, last class he was saying, chapter 3 is also Karma Yoga. Chapter 5 also Karma Yoga. But Prabhupada mentioned, chapter 5 is action in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhuji was mentioning, Karma Yoga you do, but when you have get the transcendental knowledge, then you perform in Krishna consciousness. So when you get that knowledge, jnana, as we discussed today, the application part is then you serve Krishna with that knowledge. That is actually giving you the ultimate benefit of human form of life. Because without understanding, if you do, it is not Krishna consciousness. After getting transcendental, first you do some seva. As you do that seva, what you do? You get knowledge. Because Krishna consciousness is all about service, right? So first you do some seva, then you get knowledge, then you do seva with knowledge. That is the final fulfillment. You do seva. So that beautifully explained. Of course, I'd like to thank everybody for wonderfully listening and also expressing your comments and also doubts. We'd like to thank Sudarsana Prabhu for his first time and efforts in enlightening. Today we can see hall is full. Good to see that. We'd like to express our gratitude to Prabhu by taking the shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sajjana Murari Prabhu is here. So we have one interesting program. Before Aarati, we will distribute the